Thank you, Gregory. Great. Someone smells good in here.
Gracias, amigo.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, what's that? It's my hand sanitizer.
All you, Greg.
Cool.
Go ahead.
So, today we are talking about confidentiality. And that's something that is a major deal as a residence director. You have a lot more confidential stuff you have to deal with compared to the RA position. Just with the information that you get, whether it be from admin, whether it be from a hearing you have, any of that stuff. And it really does, yeah, I wish he was here for that. I'm assuming that's what you had. So, yeah, it is a pretty big deal. So there is a lot of sensitive stuff that you're going to be handling. And you need to know who can know that stuff and who can't or who doesn't need it. Also be able to decide what information should be passed on to your building or any of the RAs that you are kind of looking after, because obviously they don't need everything, they only need the fine points. So I kind of broke everything down just to who can know what and how the interactions that you'll be having with each other as well as the staff. So starting off is from RD to RD. A lot of the stuff that you guys will be doing, everyone is doing the same thing. I mean, you're all RDs, little exception with Jane, because she'll have a little extra stuff. But I mean, for the most part, everyone kind of, at least with our staff now, everyone kind of knows everything. Not that we're like gossiping or anything like that, but it just, one of the things that we have implemented was like if one person is kind of being told about something, everyone kind of gets CC'd so that everyone's aware, because well, one thing you don't want is to kind of only one of us know, but then the director on duty needs to know something on a different building, and if they're not up to date, then they can be taken by surprise. So for the most part, RDs kind of know everything. And then obviously that's a good thing, but it also could kind of be a bad thing. You don't need to be sharing all the little details that may not have bearing in a situation. You still need to be kind of on the ball and figure out what exactly should be shared between you. Don't discuss your opinions on hearings. One major thing obviously is the hearings, and it's kind of hard to, when you need to figure out, okay, how am I going to make this decision, and you want to talk to the other RDs, but a lot of the times they're going to be there's going to be appeals, and you don't want to get another residence director to have a bias in any way in that hearing. So by kind of maybe asking not specifics about a hearing, but just kind of, okay, if it was in this kind of situation, what have you done in the past? Just so you don't want to be on your own by any means, but you don't want to disclose too much that this whole staff is biased in a certain way.
Sorry,
Also,
just to jump in with that, you guys can always come to Dave and I or Ben, and we've had enough training and gone through this enough to know how to give you answers and be unbiased in the situation as well. Okay, so don't feel like you're searching for an answer by yourself. Juliet might call me and miss every hearing because she wants to get it right and just talk through it with someone. So even if you're not looking for an answer, you want to talk through it with detail with someone, you can always come to three of us.
and then this next point is, I mean, something that we emphasize just in the RA position as well. Be aware where you are when you're talking about things. Obviously, in the RA position, if you're talking about residents or write-up, it may look bad on you, and then you have a problem with the residents. But if you're talking about a specific incident or something that is confidential, there could be much larger repercussions because legally people could say, oh, well, they were kind of not going by the rules, and we need to be very strict on how we kind of are talking to each other. If you need to know about it, you will be told. That's again kind of going back to you'll get a lot of emails, you'll be CC'd on a lot of stuff, and you'll get that information one way or another. So again, if it's there, definitely read it, but you don't need to be kind of getting too far into it and asking to get more information. If you need the information, I'll definitely be given to you. And then the next section is you to your staff of RAs. First point, let them know things they will need for their job and how they can how am I trying to say this? How they can achieve use their potential. You're going to know a lot of major conflicts, like roommate issues, or if there was a big write-up with like drugs and crazy stuff, you'll know everything. And obviously you don't need to tell your whole staff, hey, we just found cocaine in this room, or whatever. Everyone doesn't need to know that. But if it's a specific RA that needs to go address it, obviously they would need to know that. So you need to realize the RAs need certain information so that they can do their job, but they don't need all the information. A little bit kind of into the job itself. There is going to be someone that has to deal with EAF points over the year. It's just going to happen. But that's not something that everyone needs to know about. Just people that are or have an issue possibly if it comes down to a staff issue or if they're late to shifts or whatever. People don't need to know because that's their own private stuff, and we're close to the staff enough. We don't need to know all the dirty stuff. Only share necessary information about hirings and firings. Again, we've dealt with that this year. The hope is we don't need to deal with that with the incoming staff, but I'm pretty sure it happens almost every year that we've been around at some point, and it's just kind of how the job works. So again, everyone doesn't need to know why this person was gone, and I know your RDs, if it happened at any of your buildings, certainly walk through kind of just the need to know stuff. Okay, this person's gone. This is what we're thinking about doing in replacement, but a lot of times you won't know specific answers. You just know, okay, this is how we can proceed, because that's what your staff is going to need. What they need to do either in the interim time or for the rest of the year to still do their job well. Alright, you are the liaison between admin staff and the RAs, so be able to put that into perspective for them. You're going to be in a lot of meetings with a lot of people, and you're going to get information that doesn't need to go to the RAs. I know a lot of our admin meetings Friday mornings, work for a decent portion of it. It's great to have that knowledge, but we don't need it as the liaison. We don't need to be sharing what is happening in leasing, because it's kind of stuff that isn't going to change how they do their job. But it's certainly information that will help you guys in doing your job as maybe director on duty or something like that. So another point there, I have you are able to see both sides and word things appropriately. That kind of comes down to it when you get those questions like, well, why is admin doing this? And because that happens a lot. People like RAs are upset that this program wasn't allowed or something, and you would be told, well, the budget isn't there, or we need more residents, or something that you understand. You get it from Dave's perspective or Anna's perspective, but they RAs don't really get. And you need to be able to talk to them and say, okay, I understand, I get it, I'm like you guys, I've been in the RA position, but you have to realize that we can't be putting on 500 big programs and only let certain residents go or something like that. Again, the next point we have, be a confidant so that your staff can work through problems. That's just, kind of something that definitely comes with the job. Your staff